All right, good morning, everyone. It's Lucas Candy here to give you a guided tour of the Zotero application. I was actually pretty impressed with it when I did my research on how it works and what it actually is. But what it is it is a citation and bibliography and even information managing tool. It's a free app, so I'm going to show you right now. Maximize this. So you just go to zotero.org and you download it to start. So you download right now. I'm on a Mac, so it'll auto detect what you are. You download that and you download the Chrome extension as well. And once you have that all done, I've already done it, so we're not going to jump through that hoop twice. But then you'll have them. And it'll say you can create an account and stuff. You don't have to, actually, if you don't want to, though. So the idea of this is, so you're out in the wild of the internet and you're researching your next paper, and you find something that you might like. So I'm going to throw a ridiculously broad research idea, just to throw it out there for fun. So let's say I'm doing research on marketing. All right, look at this. Effect of eternal marketing on physical education. Yes, please. That sounds wonderful. So full text from Eric. Now, I'm going to move my thing down here. Because I downloaded the extension, my Zotero extension is right here. So all I have to do is I say, yes, this looks like a wonderful thing. And I could download the full text, or I could just click my Zotero. Right now, it's taking a full PDF text and it's taking a snapshot of it. So it's sucking all of the information, not just the body of the text, but also everything that's cited in that article. And now I have it in my account. So let's hop back here and let's look at a different one. So incorporating photo voice. No, I don't think so. Marketing inclusion, social justice. Why not? Okay, so I've clicked this. It's an academic journal. I'm sure it's the very best. And then again, same thing. I'm going to click this, and it's bringing up, it's going to take a little picture of that for me, saving it to my library. We're going to talk about how you can save things, the different ways you can do it here in a second. So let's minimize this for a second, and let's bring up my Zotero app. So right here, I've been playing around with it a little bit, obviously, and here's different articles that I've kind of grabbed from the internet. And look at this, like I grabbed this, creating a diverse student success infrastructure. And here's the abstract, here's the author, here's the university, here's all the information I could ever want about it. And of course, the actual article itself. When I click on this, it should open that up from EBSCO. Now, oh yes, this is one that it wasn't actually a PDF available. So normally it would just open up a PDF, but because it was found, it must be locked behind EBSCO somehow. It brought up what it did have. Now, if I went to say this one, let's see, this one, it should just open up a PDF. Yeah, there it is. So not only do I have all of the relevant information, but I actually have the data there as well. So I can access that from any computer I'm on, as long as I have a Zotero account, which is pretty great. So we've gone through what it is, and we've gone through how to use it. And then when you're in the actual app here, you'll see that there's even, here, I gotta move my picture over again. I'm taking up too much space. All right. And there will be notes. You can add your own notes about that specific article. You can have tags. You can add your own tags, or this one has a bunch of tags already added. Like, for example, when I was playing around, I did that The Dirty Secret About Innovation article that we did, but because that wasn't, because I didn't take it, it was just like a copy of it. It wasn't actually sourced properly. A lot of the information isn't here, but I can add my own tags to it if I want to. But if you're taking it from EBSCO, from Eric, you should be able, the tags will already be there, but you can add your own tags, and you can actually add related to as well. So for example, I might want to say, this was part of Ed 6902, and then I can search for that. So if I wanted to search for stuff related to those things, I could. Again, I can look for specific keywords. So I'm going to look up marketing and see if that's up there. Oh, look, marketing, and it'll show me everything that we have in marketing, which of course is just the one for now. So, so that's kind of how you would navigate. I'm going to move my thingy over here again. And again, you can create folders. So if you want to create a new folder about, it could be course specific or more likely specific to a certain topic you're researching. Like, we have multiple assignments in this course. So you might be, oh, that's good for this activity, but not for that one. You can organize it that way. So there are your publications. So if you want to put your own stuff in here, you can. And then of course you can, there's a few other options as well. Like you can search, obviously. You can add in a URL directly. So if you wanted to, oh yeah, there we go. You can add an URL directly. You can copy a file and it'll add it into here as well for you. You can add in just kind of stuff, book section, document. You can add stuff in manually if you want to. Now, I don't see a ton of value for that because that's kind of doing what you would normally do anyway, just kind of in a different way. I mean, some people might like it, but for me, the big value of this is just being able to click and then it just snags that right off the internet for you. And the great thing is, because it's in your Chrome browser, it doesn't matter what site you're on, you can just click it and snag it and it's yours forever and for always. So I think that's giving you a pretty good idea of how this system works right here. A lot of it is just playing around with it, getting to know it a little bit better. So now say you've done all your research, you've gathered all your information, you have it in one beautiful place, Zotero. Well, how is this going to look in the actual wild when you go to use it? So here's my Zotero example. It supports Office, Microsoft Office, Microsoft Word, but it also supports Google Drive, Google Docs, which is my kind of daily driver. You do as much as I can in Google Docs, and it supports that. Look, because I downloaded that extension, not just the app, but also the extension. Here it is right here. So I've done my first sentence. Oh, I better cite that. Click Zotero. There's also shortcut keys if you're into that. And I would just say, okay, oh, where did that come from? Oh yeah, that was on that article on research. So I start typing in research. Let's see here. Oh yes, abusing research right here. Click. And then that's from Cone from 2006. Updating, there it is. Then I go to my next sentence, same idea. I'm going to click Zotero, add citation, and you can start putting in the author's name. You can start putting in anything in the title. It'll start searching for it. So we'll say this one's a marketing one. Oh, I lost my little search bar here. There we go. Marketing, there it is. That'll do. Okay, and it adds it. I found in some of the research I saw, it was almost instantaneous. I don't know if it's because it's in my internet connection, it takes like a few seconds, or if it's because I'm using Google Docs, not Word. But in the videos that I've watched, it looked to be instantaneous, and it could be my internet or something like that as well. So again, one final citation here. Let's do research again, because I know there's lots on that. Here we go. Haven't done this guy yet, I don't think. Nope. And enter. So there you go. And it just takes a second, and then boom, it's there. So say you've gone through, and the idea is as you're typing up your project, your essay, you can be adding these in as you go. Then you get to the end. Say, all right, it's bibliography time. And then you would just click Zotero again. This time you would click add, edit bibliography. And it takes a little bit longer because it's taking all that information, but there it is. All those, you got your three things here, 1, 2, 3, and there they are. They're in alphabetical order. They're in the settings. You can play around with, when you first set it up, it asks you what type of citation you want to go with first. You can, do Chicago style, MLA, APA, all the biggies, all the heavy hitters. You can do them all, which is, of course, wonderful. So I've said what it is and what it does. I've kind of showed you how to use it. And now I'm going to get down to the strengths and weaknesses of this program. More strengths and weaknesses by far. I had to kind of scrape the bottom of the barrel to look for weaknesses, really. So strength, it's free. Of course, not all free. The basic level is free. I don't know exactly how far the free level will get you. Well, actually, I know exactly how far it'll get you. It'll get you 300 megabytes of storage. I don't know exactly how much space that takes up. It depends how big your articles are. Depends how many articles. but up to 300 megabytes is free. 2 gigs is 20 bucks a year. 6 gigs is 60 bucks a year. And unlimited storage for all the PDFs you could ever hold is 120 bucks a year. So, but the basic level for, I think, us master students, I don't think we're going to be using tons and tons and tons of this stuff. And again, you can always delete stuff when you're done with it if you want to. I personally would have no use for anything other than probably the free version. But if you do need to up it a little bit, I mean, 20 bucks a year is pretty cheap. Another pro is I love the quick click and add feature. You know, you just go up here, you click on the thing and it's yours, which is almost instantaneous. That's a big kind of benefit to me, I would think, especially because I think I mentioned it before, but if you're using books and things like that, you know, that I kind of like the paper and pen system, but when I'm going through digital articles all the time, you know, highlighting and all that stuff, it can be a bit more of a pain. So I really like this for all the digital articles, and especially with our online courses, there's a ton of those that we have to kind of consume. Next up, a couple cool things that I thought was pretty neat is the fact that there's some extra stuff that it offers you, which is one is groups. So if you create an account, you can use groups, which means if say you have 3 people working on an assignment, you can create a specific group, and when you're doing your research, add it to that. So you could have 3 people all adding to the same pile of research. So all of a sudden, not only are you keeping the citations there, but you're actually, the PDFs are there. So everyone in your group can see the stuff that you're working on. So that's actually pretty neat, depending on the kind of schooling that you're doing, the kind of courses that you're doing, that could come in very helpful. Next up is it's kind of like the nerdiest Facebook possible. You can keep all of your, you can connect with other people, other researchers, kind of see what they're up to. You can create, people can find out kind of that you can connect with other researchers. Not something I would ever use because I'm not that deep into academia, but if you were really deep into academia, I imagine it could be kind of lonely if you're the only one that you know who's doing, you know, in-depth research into German polka history. Then all of a sudden you might be able to bump into someone else doing the same thing, or something, you know, maybe it's Hungarian polka history and it's kind of close. And there could be some interesting ways to connect. It's not just about going to conferences now or, you know, just reading articles. You could actually connect with this, which is, it's a neat feature. I don't know how used it will be, but still kind of cool. Good on them for throwing it in there. And then of course, with the other one, the big pro would be the fact that it's doing the grunt work of citing for you, which for me, I knew coming back to school after a decade or so out, and I had to switch. I did history, so I was used to a totally different style of citing. I find APA very confusing, a little less so now, but it still seems a little bit weird to me. Although I'm starting to see its charms now that I'm, you know, a few courses in. Cons. So what are some of the limitations of Zotero? Well, it's not beautiful. It's you know, and of course that's a pretty nitpicky thing. It's not pretty. It'll get your basic stuff done, but it's not pleasant to look at, I wouldn't say. It's basically like a 1995 file folder system, but take that for what it's worth. Next up, there's no easy mobile support, which is something I would have liked to see. I went immediately and looked to see if I could download it on my iPad. I do most of my reading of articles on here. It'd be great just to take my pen, you know, my stylus out and be able to mark stuff up. From my research, there looks to be some kind of workarounds to that, but there's no easy, simple system. Now, to be fair, I don't think a lot of heavy research is getting done on tablets. It's being done on computers. But it still would have been nice to see. So maybe if enough people buy the $120 package, they'll bring that out. And last con, again, it's not a huge deal, but it works for Word, whether that Word is on Mac or on Microsoft on a PC. It works on Google Docs, which work on anything, but it doesn't support most other Word programs. So if you're really into using Pages on Mac, which most people aren't, you're out of luck there. You're going to have to find another way to do it. Again, this is stuff that can all be fixed with updates, both, you know, the ugly factor of it, the app factor of it. Like none of them are deal breakers either, right? So it gets the main job done. And these are things that they can kind of tweak as they go. And I'm sure that they have plans for a lot of this stuff in the future. But Zotero, I definitely recommend it. I think you should all download it right now. Go to the site, download it, check out the free version. I think it could be very helpful for a lot of people. So hopefully this was a helpful presentation, you guys, and thank you very much for your time.